What's up everyone, V here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Figuarts Spiderman Miles Morales from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. A movie which I have a love-hate relationship with. If you've seen my previous reviews from Spider-Verse, you already know that. And if you want my more in-depth thoughts on that movie, go check out my previous reviews. I've done The Legends, 2099, Peter B. Parker, Gwen, Spot, and I've done the Figuarts Spider-Gwen as well. But yeah, all I'm going to say here is I just have a love-hate relationship with it. If you want more in-depth, go check out those reviews, because I don't really feel like explaining it all again, and I feel like if you've seen those already, you don't want to hear me talk about the movie and my same problems with it again. But one of the things I did absolutely love about this movie and Into the Spider-Verse is the main man, Miles himself. I absolutely love Miles Morales. I think he's a really fun and interesting character, and his journey that he's gone through over the course of the past two movies is just really engaging and really interesting, and I think he's a great addition to the Spidey universe, even though he technically has been around. But I don't read comics, so I don't care. Although I do have a Miles comic, one of the few comics I actually have. Haven't read it yet because I'm lazy and I don't like reading, but I will read it eventually. But yeah, I've always liked Miles. My first introduction to Miles was back in Ultimate Spider-Man, that cartoon, during like the whole Spider-Verse thing, and he showed up. And I always really liked him. He's really fun. Actually, my first Miles figure was from that show. And ever since then, I always had a little bit of soft spot, a little bit of love for Miles Morales, and so seeing him in a Spider-Verse and all that, getting the limelight finally, I think is really awesome. And I cannot wait to see him in live action, maybe see him swinging with Tom Holland's Spidey. We've kind of already have him in live action with the PlayStation games, because they're kind of realistic. And I will be reviewing the PlayStation Spidey soon, both of them. But yeah, I do really like him in the game as well. Haven't played the Miles Morales one yet. I will be buying it when I get my paycheck. But I have played the PlayStation Spidey, and I really like Miles in that too. He's just a really fun and interesting character. And this figure is perfect. It's amazing. The reason why I bought this figure was because I took one look at the Legends and already foresaw problems with it. If you see my previous Spider-Verse reviews, you know that the Spider-Verse Legends are not the best. Like, Legends has been doing so great, but they dropped the ball hard on Spider-Verse. Like, 2099 and Gwen were just so disappointing. Peter B. Parker and Spot are awesome, because I expected nothing from them, and I was actually blown away. I will be getting the SH Figuarts 2099. I didn't have money, because I wasn't paid yet, and I spent a little too much of it. So I wasn't able to pre-order 2099, so I'm probably going to have to make another dodgy eBay purchase like how I got him, because I got him in a lot with a Spider-Gwen for $190. I took the risk, and it's definitely worth it. But yeah, the reason why I bought this whole figure was I took one look at it, and I could tell it was going to have problems. It looked like the articulation was going to be very hindering. It had weird blue, and like it had these like diamond shapes instead of it being smooth, and it was really ugly. Also, it was inaccurately designed, although I did prefer the inaccurate design because it had a lot more red throughout the suit. But still, I wanted a really good, really accurate version, and I just kept seeing pictures of this guy on Instagram, and I was like, I gotta buy it, and I do not regret it. This figure is amazing. Might be one of the best Spideys I own. Definitely top 3. It's definitely up there with the Renew Your Vows body, Garfield Spidey, and that's it, because I said 3, and I just named the other 2. So yeah, this figure's really great, and we shall get into it, of course. But before we do, like always, we shall take a look at the packaging. Tiny box, really tiny box, like, let me just grab an average Marvel Legends figure. Like, that's a tiny box. And yet, he comes with so much. So, of course, on the front, you got Marvel, Tamashii, Bandai, more words, Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse. I think the like a quality sticker to prove that it's real, I think. Don't quote me on that, because I don't buy SH Figuarts. This is technically my second ever SH Figuarts. So yeah, you got a nice glam shot of Miles, almost said Gwen, Jesus, from across the Spider-Verse, of course. SH Figuarts, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Bandai, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Spider-Man. A shot of the figure. Yeah, guess what? SH Figuarts, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse. Oh, you guys aren't going to believe what it says. SH Figuarts, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse. And they just got a bunch of glam shots of the figure. Bunch of stuff I cannot read. And, warning, ages 15 and up. Yeah, I doubt any, under 15 kids will be even acquiring this, since it's $90. But yeah, tiny box. Also do like the blue and how it's different, because Gwen's, let me grab it, is a pink. I like the differentiating colors, and actually they have different backgrounds. He's got a cityscape and she's got something. But yeah, bringing in the man himself, he surprisingly stands decently despite the fact that he's got the tiniest feet I've ever seen on an action figure this scale. He comes with a lot of accessories, but actually it is kind of different from Gwen, which surprised me. But of course he comes with the base. It's got a bit of hair on it, because, you know, I live with cats, so that's going to happen. You got the Miles Spidey symbol there, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, black and red. It looks really good. And you got these tabs here, if it would stay in focus. Yeah, which you could plug the stand into, and it comes with a little tool to pull those out. But if you saw my Gwen review, you know I was very unsuccessful at that, and I'll never use the stand, so I don't care. But it does have a hinge at the bottom, hinge up here. Hinge rotates, clamp. It can clamp the figure. You can also take the clamp off, has a peg. There's a little thing right there, and you'd get the tool, pull that out, and you could just peg it in. I don't want to do it because like I said in the Gwen review, I know if I get it out, it's going to fly, and I'll never see it again. And honestly, I don't care. I'm not a guy who, oh, there goes the, there goes that. I'm not a guy that, like, poses his figures on a shelf and then is done with it. I don't take good care of my figures. I just throw them in a bag, and the ones I like, I put them on the floor in my closet, and I just pick them up. Because, like, I don't want to put them on a shelf because I know I'm going to be picking them up and messing around with them a lot. So, yeah, also I don't have the space. Oh, train. I think we're good. Like I said, every single video. I cannot record a video without a train, because I live near train tracks. Next, he has a couple web effects, and they are the exact same as Gwen. You got the shorter web. I doubt this is going in focus. Anyway, you got the shorter web with the ring around it, the longer web with the ring around it, and then a web which he can just hold. These ring ones, you pop the hand off. Terrifyingly small joint, ball joint, I might add. You wrap it around. I'm going to take this behind the camera, because, oh, it's actually a lot easier than a Gwen. That was surprising. But basically, you wrap it around the wrist, and then you can make it look like he's whipping out the actual web shooters, which is really cool. I think that's a cool little effect. Yeah, his joints... Oh, I spoke too soon. I was going to say his wrist joints seem a lot more solid and don't move around as much as Gwen's. I will say this figure is definitely better than Gwen, because he just poses so beautifully, but we'll get into that. And this, he does come with an alternative hand, which you just slide the thinner end in, and he can hold it. Just have him swinging. And speaking of alternative hands, he comes with quite a few. Also, I'll tell you right now, the lighting's going to be atrocious in this video, because my lighting's atrocious in general, but when it comes to figures that are just in all black and red figures, it just does not pick up the details too well. So yeah, but on him right now, he has the right open hand and a left thwip, and of course he comes with a train again, the alternates of both. And I'll just take a look at this. Oh my god, chill out, train. But yeah, you got red on the inside and then some nice texture and a little bit of a smooth little angle thingy there on both. Looks really great. Then you have two like wall crawling hands or like splayed out hands. It's not really in focus because my camera hates me. Then you got even more splayed out hands. They're a lot flatter. And finally, you have those like gripping hands, which are really cool. And if you think accessories are over yet, think again. Right now on him, he has his masked head, but that can pop off. You take the neck with it, and you can replace it with an unmasked head, which looks beautiful. Let's get a closer up shot of that head. That's Miles. That encapsulates the art style and how Miles looks perfectly. Like, these Figuarts, they capture that animation style beautifully. Like, look at all that detail. That looks amazing. That looks exactly like Miles. The hair sculpt looks really good. It's painted beautifully. It's got, like, the very animated look, which I love. And it does have, like, some things, like, just drawn on the face to add more to the animated feel. And he does have another unmasked head where he's kind of got, like, an awkward little smile, which looks really great as well. Definitely looks like when he, like, first met Gwen. He's doing the, hey. And, of course, you can swap them, but I'm not gonna, because the ball joints are tiny. And it was kind of a pain getting the other head on, but just know you can have it. Swapping the head out to put the masked head back on, because we are not done with alternate head stuff yet. So on him right now is just the normal eye sculpt. Looks really good. It's got a red outline, and then inside it is a blue outline, which is captures, I almost said capsulates, captures the animation style beautifully, and he's got these big white eyes, and the head's just a straight texture. The suit's cool, but it's definitely not one of my favorite Miles designs, because it's got, like, not really anything going on. I much more prefer his Into the Spider-Verse look, but it does definitely look very unique, especially compared to every other Spidey suit, which I guess makes him look like more of his own, because when he had a suit like this, it very much had a lot of, like, normal Peter Spidey influences, but this is very different, so I will say that that's pretty cool. But yeah, the fun doesn't stop there, because you can pull the eyes out, being very careful. Look at that. And replace them with somehow even bigger eyes. Let's see if I can get it in. Look at that. And just to compare the size of the eyes real quick. Look at that. That looks really cool. And I'm just going to pop the other one on real quick, because it's easier to do it behind the camera. And then you can get him looking extremely shocked. Can, like, recreate that one meme that a lot of people, like, some art person did, like, that guy going like this, but, like, colored it like Miles. And you can recreate it with this figure, except he's wearing the mask, but still. This is, like, how Miles reacted when he found out that Gwen left a sweater at Hobie's place. He's like, "Gah." But yeah, that's just really cool. Like, that's a really awesome feature that this figure had, which it didn't even really need to have. But yeah, popping those eyes back out. Thought it would be a lot faster. That's why I didn't continue that sentence. But yeah, let's just get back right into the figure, because this figure's phenomenal. Detail-wise, there's not a whole lot going on. He's got this nice texture throughout, but also hits a couple smooth bits. But yeah, on the Marvel Legends, this wasn't smooth. This was like, had big diamonds. It was also on the face. And also, it was painted blue. This figure has a really cool thing it does, where like these smoother bits have like a dark, deep, shiny blue to it. So whenever light hits it, you can see like the blue shine. Like you can very much see like a shine of blue to them, like the animation like has. But it isn't just straight up, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's just straight up blue. You're like, it's hard to tell. And I don't know what they did to give it this effect, but it looks good. My lighting's not really doing it justice, I think. But in person, you can even tell, like, the shiny bits give off a blue shine. Oh, there goes Miles. I'm gonna hold the camera so it doesn't fall. I've learned from my past mistakes. But yeah, again, I don't know exactly what they did, but it looks really great, and it captures the, like, shine of the blue from, like, the animation. Miles better than the Marvel Legends. Then you got his little spider symbol in the front, painted really well. Same on the back as well, looks really good. You got more of that smooth area throughout. Then you got like that red line that cuts down, which looks really good and is painted really well. It's of course under the arm and on the side of the legs as well, which looks really good. Coming down the arms, you got more of that nice smooth detail. Coming down to his hands, which look really good. Got the red painted on the inside, which looks really cool. It's got like an arrow pointing down to his crotch. That's fun. But it kind of gives the illusion of like the normal like Spidey thing that goes down there, but still keeping it unique. On the back, he's got the tiniest butt I've ever seen. He's not Miguel. He's not pack and cake whatsoever. Coming down to his legs, he's got these thin twig legs, because he is a thin boy. He just like me for real. But it looks good, got more of that nice texture, bit of smooth. Going down the thigh, coming down to his itsy bitsy tiny little feet, with red painted on the bottom. And yeah, like I said, there's not too much to really talk about figure-wise. There's not a whole lot going on with his design. But just look at the proportions. They nailed the proportions so well. But let's get into articulation, because it's a Figuarts, it's loaded. It's got a ball joint at the head and a ball joint at the bottom of the neck. You can get him looking down that far, up that far. He doesn't really look up too well, but you put the rest of the articulation and you can get him looking up decently. And it's the same for the other head. I'd swap it, but like it doesn't get hindered in any way. Oh, dropped him. His arm moves out that far, rotates all the way around. There's a butterfly joint which moves that far forward and that far back. Bicep swivel. Oh, tripped me out for a moment. Double jointed elbow, and they do like they do a joint which makes it so that there's no pins, which I really like. Then you got like the McFarlane type thing, except done Miles better, where you can like up and down but rotate it, and then you can get it going like that. Bicep articulation, you can move that far forward, that far back. Bob, and the detail does go up. And you can move the bottom one down, but you can really barely move it before you know he gets cut in half. So yeah, you mostly move that and kind of inch that one around. But yeah, you can move the legs that far forward, that far back. That cake is not getting in the way at all, because there is no cake. You can do really great splits. And it does shift up and down. Thigh rotation, which I am scared to move because I think I popped his leg off once. Double jointed knee, which kicks up really far. Same type of joint for the leg. And then a rocker as well. And then it's a bitsy tiny little toe joint. So yeah, he's got really great articulation. But let's see how big he is. That sounded vaguely better in my head than it did in reality. But yeah, average Marvel Legends scale, here he is next to Moon Knight. And for a Transformers Voyager and a Black Series scale, here he is next to Shockwave and Camino Trooper. Just took him out. God dang. But yeah. Then for 7-inch scale, here he is next to McFarlane Flash, McFarlane DC Flash, and Jazzwares Halo Master Chief. Yeah, he's definitely smaller. But yeah, for some Spider-Verse, here he is next to 2099 and Peter B. Parker. Let's get that further back so you can see the scale. And he scales pretty well with them. Definitely waiting for that figure to this guy, though. And here he is next to that figure art Gwen. They look great together. And here he is next to Spot. Ooh, Spider-Man, why'd you create that guy? Jay, you can get them posing really well together, because this figure's great. And yeah, they look really good together. And here he is next to my previous review, The Rose! And for some Miles comparisons, here he is next to that PlayStation Miles. And here he is next to my first ever Miles, that Ultimate Spider-Man Miles. And yeah, this is my Miles collection video as well, guys. How do you rate my collection? Yeah, it's not too many Miles figures. I definitely want to get the one that's the suit that's on this, because this is the comic I have, and I do kind of like that suit. I'm just waiting for me to get paid. Also, if you're wanting to know what that noise is, that's the aircraft bombers dropping the nukes on my city. It was nice knowing you all. I'm about to get Oppenheimered up in here. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Yeah, Gwen's video was way longer, but I feel like there was more to talk about with Gwen, because there's a lot more disappointment with the previous Gwen figures, and then excitement with the newer Gwen. And Miles is the only Spider-Verse Miles I have. I would like the Into the Spider-Verse one as well, but it's been out too long, and I don't trust the websites. So yeah, do I recommend this figure? Absolutely. This is one of the best Spider-Man figures I ever had. He poses so well. You can just get him in like such a let's just put him in an extremely dynamic Spidey pose real quick. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look at how good that looks. You can just, he's just oozing the exaggerated swagger of a black teen right now. Like, look at that. That is amazing. Like, no other Spider-Man can really nail a pose like that. I think it's a combination of the great articulation and just him being extremely thin. Because not even Gwen can get in a pose this nice. So I think him being an absolute twig and having this great articulation just came together to create the perfect beast. And I gotta say, I really am struggling to find flaws with this figure. Like, Gwen, I pointed out a couple flaws, but this Miles, like, legitimately, the one flaw, this pops up when you try to move it forward. That's really about it. And he's having a hard time standing right now, but again, that's literally, but like, look, I got him to stand, and look at how thin his legs are. That's just amazing. It's an amazing figure. Call him the Amazing Spider-Man, because he's amazing, even though that's Andrew Garfield, who's also amazing. They're all amazing. Every Spidey's amazing. I love them all, and I hope to God we get a bunch of figures from Across the Spider-Verse, and we get even more Spideys in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Because with my disappointment from Across the Spider-Verse, I will say Beyond looks amazing. I wonder if Miles is going to get a new suit, because at the end of it, he kind of got it torn up. It would be cool to see him with a new suit as well. And I'll definitely be buying that figure arts probably, because, man, these figure arts blew me away. And I've had this figure for like a month or two now, and I'm still blown away just messing around with it. It's a great figure. Pick it up. It's $90. It's worth every single cent. In fact, I think that's selling it a bit cheap. I would literally drop like $150, $200. Okay, maybe that's a bit much. But it's definitely worth the price of admission. You get so many great accessories, and you get a great figure. If it was just this figure, no other accessories except an unmasked head, I'd still love it. This is close to perfection, I think, this design could get. This is definitely like a 9.5 out of 10 figure, because I'm throwing out numbers now, despite the fact that I never do that. Because guess what? These aren't the most quality reviews on YouTube. But yeah, that's about it. Like, subscribe, check out my previous reviews. I have a crap ton of Spidey reviews. I've just been reviewing Spidey recently. And, spoiler alert, I got like 3 to 4? 3 to 4. Yeah, because there's a big gap between 3 and 4. I got about 3, 4, maybe even 5. Definitely probably going to be buying even more Spideys. Let's just say there's a lot more Spider-Man to come. And some Ant-Man stuff as well. Now, I'm going to try to fudge some Flash and Transformers in there, and we might eventually go back to Guardians. But yeah, that's about it. Check out my Instagram, MoonEdXO. I am posting a lot of pics from the Spider-Man game. You can just talk to me there. Check out little sneak peeks on like figures I get that will most likely get reviews. Also, you can see my Spider-Man art, because I've done a lot of Spider-Man art, especially 2099, and I'm gonna be doing a fun little thing where I'm gonna be trying to make my own designs for different Spider-Man characters. I've come up with my own like Peter Parker Spider-Man suit design, and I will be posting that soon as well. And there'll be a lot more to come. So if you think that's a very interesting thing you want to check out, go check out my Instagram, MoonEdXO. I also put the name in the description. No link, because I'm not that technologically advanced. I ain't no Peter Parker. I ain't no Miles. I ain't getting into no superior college. I ain't gonna be making no, like, portals to other dimensions because I'm down bad for Haley Steinfeld. To be fair, though, it's Haley Steinfeld. I would create a portal to another dimension for her. So, I understand what that brother's going through. So, yeah, that's about it. Hope you have a beautiful day. And because he can do it absolutely perfectly, peace out. No, stand.